In order to improve your strength, flexibility, and the balance with your exercises, and you need to understand the benefits of each exercise and how it relates to functions, common mistakes, and how to move in an optimal way. And we're going to tackle squats today. If you want to learn how to retrain your body and then movement safely and then effectively and then move better, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video every week. I am Taro Iwamoto. I am a Feldenkrais practitioner. With my background in athletic training, physical therapy, martial arts, and the Feldenkrais method, I have helped many people like you overcome and then move beyond the pain and the limitations. Now it's your turn, and let's dive in. The benefit of the squats is that it strengthens the core muscles and strengthens the leg muscles. That includes your quads, your glutes, your hamstrings. And it helps improve your balance as well. And it's a very functional movement that we use every day, such as getting out of the chair, getting out of the toilet, couch, and squat itself. So there are common mistakes that I often see when people exercising and doing the squats as an exercise. So if they're doing the squats, so I'll show you a couple different mistakes. So when they do the squats, heel comes up off the floor. Same time the knees translate forward. That's one common mistake. And then another one would be that shifting weight onto the one side or shifting the pelvis onto the one side. That happens as well. Knee kind of caves in. Maybe one knee more than the other one, but this is another very common, I'm exaggerating, but common mistake as they're doing squats. Something else, let me see, squatting and then arching excessively through the lower back or rounding the back as they're doing the squats, or the head comes forward. All those things, right? And very, very common and to see those things when people are doing a squat as an exercise in the gym. They're doing it to strengthen leg muscles. But oftentimes they're really not thinking about the functions, such as, well, what they're really practicing is the patterns of, getting out of the chair, right? And when you actually sit and when you stand up, you don't really think about specific techniques. Okay, so let's think about, keeping the back stable, or, you don't really think about those things when you are actually doing it in the functions. So easiest way to improve your technique is that you think about, or you actually use the chair as a stool. You sit, and then the feet about a shoulder width apart, and your knees over your heels, right? And from here, I'd like you to pay attention to how you distribute the weight on your feet. Trying to evenly distribute the weight. And then you pay attention to keep the weight. And then stand up slowly. And then same thing going down to sit. Okay, keep the same weight distribution on your feet as you are transitioning from sitting to standing. And if you have a tendency to collapse your knees inward, and if you do pay attention during the transition as you're starting to stand up, and oftentimes you will notice that your weight transfers to the inside of your foot or feet, but if both knees are caving in, right? So by paying attention and controlling the weight on your feet, you're going to influence where the knees are going to be. So that's easy to think about than trying to watch your knees, right? So keep your feet stable and then slowly standing up. Okay? And for the people who tend to translate the knees forward, the heels come up, When you do actually do the sit to stand, when you're sitting down, that will not likely happen, because when you do this way, and then you're going to miss the chair. But if you're actually sitting down in a chair, this will not happen. So this is why when you do the squats as an exercise, and you're not really linking to the actual function, which is like sit to stand. So to get that movement pattern right, and use that chair or stool right behind, and then practice here. You don't really have to sit all the way down. You can just going down and until your bottom touches the chair lightly, and then starting to come up. Again, watching your feet, weight, contact on your feet, and controlling that. And then slowly control descending and then ascending. Squats. That's a squat. And for those of you who have a tendency to either arch your back or round your back, and then you can't really tell how your back is moving. Easy way to do it. Use a dowel or stick, anything, and then you hold it right behind your back, like so. It gives you an immediate feedback. And so keep your spine somewhat neutral. And then if you're starting to round your back, you know right away, okay, you can feel that pressure changes, or vice versa. And then if you're going to arch your back, increase an extension in your low back, you also notice that the space, the distance between your back and the dowel increases. You can feel that. So by controlling that, okay, using this feedback, and then keeping the same contact against the dowel as you are doing this. So this is a great feedback, and to improve your squat technique. That. So once you become very familiar with that movement and how to control your spine, and you don't use the dowel, so without the tactile feedback, and you go through the same movement, squatting, right? And the progression, you want to work towards a lower, deeper squat, and find lower stool, and then you're going to go down, and that's how you progress. Then eventually, for those of you who are really working towards going down to the full squats, right? You can do that way. So progressively use the lower chair, the lower stool, or you can stack up a couple books and think about actually lowering your bottom down to sit on top of the books and then coming back up. And another thing is that you may be wondering, okay, so how much should I keep my torso upright the whole time as you do the squats, or should I allow my torso to bend forward? And that really optimal way to do the squats and the optimal angle of the torso, it really depends on also the optimal, the width of the feet, your legs, and depend on your structures, your anatomy, and then also your body type and body mass distribution. So it changes. And this is why it is important that you pay attention to the weight distribution on your feet and controlling that, and then keeping your back neutral. All right. If you're able to maintain that, then you find that there is a perfect spot for you to, okay, so as far as how much to bend, if not enough for you, and then you will find that the weight shifts too far back on your heels, and then you heel. It's really difficult to stand up. And so you find a way to move and do the squats in an optimal way by figuring out the perfect, ideal way to shift the weight and to stand up and then sitting down without losing that weight distribution on your feet. And I think that's it, and that covers the basics of the squats. So you can practice that. And I really find that if you're having a hard time to really improve the squat techniques and form, first, utilize the chair. And if you're having a hard time to stabilize your back or not knowing how and not to know how your back is moving, then use the dowel stick and as a tactile feedback, and so that you know the shape of your spine and you can control it. And then as you're going through the squat movements. If you want to improve your back pain, be sure to grab your free movement guide to pain-free back at the link below. Check out these videos, and if you like this video, and hit that like button, and be sure to subscribe and share with your friends. Comment below how helpful you found this video was. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Happy mindful movement. Bye bye.